All right. Crystal Jessee, discuss PFAS.
PFAS.
All right.
Thank you for letting me come today. Reached out and spoke to Kevin earlier and told him where he could find, may I put my stuff down? Find some information on litigation that we have ongoing and we've just rolled out in Tennessee. So I'm going to share with you some of the information here and then I'll go through kind of what it is. I'm working with the same group that I worked with in the opioid litigation. I'm reaching out to local utility districts and sewer districts to sign them up because we have found PFAS in our water system. PFAS is a man-made material that will never go away. We've known about it as early as the Teflon litigation in West Virginia, and 3M and DuPont and about 40 other manufacturers have continued to manufacture the chemical. The problem is it is slowly swept into and leaked into our water system from all of the trash piles that we have. And additionally, there's something called triple MP foam that was used by firefighters. That may not mean a lot to some of you. However, it was used at every single Air Force base. If you saw the news article that the Bristol station did with me, it has been found at Holston Armory. If there's any big manufacturing facilities that have the risk of explosion, it has been used there. What's even worse is about 15 years ago, the city of New York had some PFOAM that was left over and they nicely sent it down here to our rural fire departments in Hawkins County, Greene County, several East Tennessee counties, so we could practice with it. At that point in time, we did not realize that the PFOAM would never go away and we were exposing all of our firefighters to cancer-causing agents. So Paul Napoli started this litigation. You probably heard of him. He did the Flint, Michigan litigation. He did the Camp Lejeune litigation. The Camp Lejeune is directly tied to PFOAM because the Army used it. He's rolled it out different states across the nation, and he was slow to come to Tennessee because Tennessee's kind of been an ostrich. We put our heads in the sand. We don't mandate testing here, except for we have worked with the federal government, EPA, to start mandating testing coming this fall for subsidiaries, utilities, sewer districts that serve more than 10,000 people. They're going to pay for the first round of testing. Some of the other utility districts went ahead and did some testing and they have found it in their system. So we have gradually been reaching out to the ones here that we know that have done testing, or the ones here that are likely to have it in their system or will be having it in their system in the near future, such as coming down the river from Holston Armory. What I will tell you, because I know several city council members in Kingsport were worried about Eastman, we are not, just like in the opioid litigation, we are not suing any local companies. It is strictly a national company class action. Well, it's not a class action, it's an MDL, multi-district litigation. So no local companies will be affected by this. Why I'm coming now is because the Tennessee Association of Utility Districts has promoted this and told all their utility districts to jump on board with us. I actually have from their website information to tell them, please get out, please consider joining. But a lot of people just haven't received the emails or haven't responded. So I've hopped on with Paul and Mike Fuller to come and present locally to the Tennessee utility districts and sewer systems and say, hey, time is of the essence. We just settled with 3M about 2.5 months ago, so to get you into that settlement and get you money, we have to get you signed up. Kitty Finwell went into bankruptcy. We have certain guidelines under the bankruptcy that if we can opt you in to get that money, we have to sign you up. But if you don't sign up, you don't get money. Just like in the opioid class action too, we are taking the risk of this litigation. So like in the opioid class action, all my 14 counties that signed up with me at the beginning, knowing that I was taking the risk, they got a bump in the settlement. What we saw in the 3M settlements, the ones that were signed up prior to the settlement date, such as Carter County, Irwin City, Sevierville City, they got 10% more in the settlement. So if we have another, if our trial goes as planned, we will be pushing more settlements probably toward the end of the year or first of next year. We want to get as many signed up as possible because you do get that 10% bump. So with that being said, there's a lot of documentation on the internet. One specific YouTube is The Devil You Know or You Don't Know. It's kind of scary. The testing has now rolled out the UCM SR5. So it's went from 40 parts per million down to 40 parts per trillion down to 1 part per trillion. So we're detecting it everywhere. The hope is to abate some of the future costs to have to put in a filtration system. We foresee the EPA coming up and mandating what's called a GAC filtration system. If you have a specific, let's say 10,000 person area that you cover and serve, a GAC filtration system for that area is $250,000. That filtration system only, typically, if something doesn't go wrong, you have an influx of new citizens, will only last 4 years. So you're replacing that. But remember what I said at the beginning, PFAS never goes away. There's nowhere in the state of Tennessee for you to take it. There's no place to dispose of it or no contamination fields. So then you would be filtrating it out. We'd then have to contain it and dispose of it and take it to another state to get rid of it. That's an enormous cost. If we have to bear that burden, we don't know what's coming down the pike, but we know that this money is here and it's free money, so we're trying to get as many utility districts signed up as possible. With that being said, do you all have any questions or comments?
This is a lot of information that
It's a
we
ton.
didn't know that we weren't, didn't even realize that
No.
that was out there the first time hearing it. But I appreciate you bringing these to our attention.
You're
this
very
evening.
welcome.
What's the timeline roughly on like,
You would probably want to be signed up by December. Because if our bellwether trials keep going as scheduled, then we could hit another one at the first of the year. That's what got 3M to settle, because their trial date was coming up and they knew it. They pushed a mediation and they settled on the EVA trial. So if you're going to do something, you want to do it by December. And I don't have to come back for that. I've spoken with Kevin. I can send him a retainer agreement. It's a standard retainer agreement where we bear all the burden of cost and everything, so.
Kevin, kind of meeting we have to have two, takes 2 readings or?
Probably do with a resolution, either way you win, it's not an ordinance, it's approve any type of litigation.
And I printed off a
review
blank
this
retainer.
material and just reach out to?
Yeah.
Is that something, Kevin, you could look at? I mean, just to, kind of, could do that.
Yeah, let me know. I'm actually, if you all have any questions, I'm back over here Thursday because I'm meeting with Persia Utility, which I think they're gonna sign up, and I just signed up Sigornsville today. So I can field any of your calls. I will be over in Rogersville all day on Thursday. So.
Appreciate you coming.
You're very
Thank
welcome.
you very much.
There's a standard retainer. I would just fill it in. Every city's different, so we can get back to you and figure out anything.
Thanks, Crystal.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.